Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
Your Lord of Pennies is here as well. Say hello, Satsu.
What up now?
I'm your Lord of Pain, and we are here to entertain, inform, humiliate you guys for the next 2 hours.
Whoa.
Well,
I didn't know about the humiliation.
Did I say that?
I think you did. I mean, I guess.
I meant humor.
What show am I on?
Hi, guys. Hope you're well. I haven't slept. Cut me some slack here. Scribbles, how you doing today, man?
In my quarantine bunker on the moon. Yeah, that's it.
Fair enough. Excuse me. Satsu.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, I'm tired as fuck. Satsu, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. I made some beef and broccoli dish today on some rice, and oh my goodness.
Ooh, sounds good.
Oh yeah.
Did you make your own sauce?
I do.
I'll have to get a recipe for you from that.
Mm-hmm. I can send one to you.
Cool. Hi, Nuts. My Nuts is in chat saying hi to us. How you doing, sweetheart?
Your nuts are what now?
My Nuts are in chat. What?
Okay. What show am I on?
This one. Connor, thank you so much. Are you guys fans of Blondie? I'm not really a fan of Blondie, but I don't like turn it off if it comes on.
I always found Dagwood kind of annoying.
Wow.
Now that's a deep cut.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's see. As I mentioned, guys, I'm tired. I have I didn't do Monkey in the Morning last night. I'm going to sleep. And that did not work out. Mash, thank you so much. Please support my candidacy for this year's Lords of the Night official Easter Bunny. Oh,
well,
apparently we're starting a candidacy for that.
There's all kinds of things.
Mash is the only bunny girl that I know of in our audience, and there may be others that I'm just not aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a win. Well, you guys will have to see.
All right.
Give me money. See who's winning. That's how you win. Give me money.
Mm-hmm. Cast your vote.
Cast your vote and send me your Corona check.
Mashisu 2020.
Man, I don't even know where to go from there. Jim Jones, no. Monkey Dick, something, movies and games. Hit the like button and show somebody some stuff.
Wow, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Just a public service announcement, guys. If Donald Trump still isn't your president and you get one of those filthy, dirty checks from him, feel free to send it my way. I will hold that burden for you.
Yes, that's a good idea. If Donald Trump is not your president, send that money to Satsu.
That's right. I will take up that burden for you, since I'm black and I carry the burden of America anyway. I will hold that for you, so that way you don't have to stoop as low as taking the dirty money from an evil con man like Trump.
If you do take that money, you know what you should do? Wash your hands, do 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 do. Wash your hands, do 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 do. Wash your hands, do 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 do. Wash your hands.
This fucking show is falling apart quickly.
No sleep, guys. Scribbles.
Yeah.
Do we have any news this evening?
What show am I on?
You are on Ranting Monkey Hasn't Slept and is hosting Lords of the Night. Welcome.
I'm about to die.
All right. Well, in the unavoidable world of Corona, because I tried, guys, there's not much going on today that doesn't in some way, shape, or form involve Corona. But I found not completely depressing stories, mostly. FDA authorizes 15-minute coronavirus test.
Okay.
Federal health officials on Friday approved a coronavirus test that can provide results in less than 15 minutes using the same technology that powers some rapid flu tests. Teased by Vice President Mike Pence on a Thursday press briefing, the new diagnostic test could accelerate testing in the United States, allowing for rapid results in doctors' offices, but shortages of critical equipment used to collect patient specimens, like masks and swabs, could blunt its impact. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration authorized the test for emergency use. Isn't this whole thing an emergency? Signaling that federal regulators were satisfied with the test's validation data and believe its benefits outweigh any risks, such as false positives or negatives.
Hold that thought. Drew W., thank you so much. Who says, send all Trump checks to blacks for reparations. Fair enough. Thank you for the donation. I'm sorry, Scribbles. You were saying about the rapid fire corona testing.
Yes. The test's maker, Abbott Laboratories, said it expects to deliver 50,000 tests per day beginning next week. The technology behind the test looks for genes that are present in the virus, similar to PCR, or polymerase chain reaction tests, already on the market. The platform used to run the tests weighs less than 7 pounds, according to Abbott, and could be deployed, quote, where testing is needed most, unquote. Last week, the FDA authorized another rapid test from molecular diagnostics company Cepheid. Cepheid, how do I know that name? Which provides results in about 45 minutes. Most laboratory tests for the coronavirus take anywhere from a few hours to days to receive results. All FDA-authorized tests, however, require samples from patients and healthcare facilities. All FDA-authorized tests, however, require samples from patients and healthcare facilities say they're facing... What?
I feel like that I wrote this sentence.
I feel like they're trying to tell me that the tests are talking. I'm going to try that one more time, and this will be the last time. All FDA-authorized tests, however, require samples from patients and healthcare facilities say they're facing shortages of critical supplies needed to collect specimens.
Maybe it's like who say or that say? The medical specialists who say they're short on these? I don't know.
Oh, okay. I see what they're saying. Okay, require samples from patients and healthcare.
Oh,
maybe they mean but healthcare facilities say they're facing shortages.
Yes, yeah, you're right there.
The and should have been a but because they were like conjoining.
However,
yeah, okay. However, But okay. Anyway, that blew my mind for a second there. So anyway, yeah, tests are coming. There you go.
Wash your hands. I'm glad they're getting more tests, but do they work?
The FDA approves them apparently. So
FDA approves a lot of shit that people end up sued over later.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Let's see. You want to talk about Cuomo?
Please.
Yeah.
Well,
Dude.
we're talking Andrew, not Fredo, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All the Cuomo for president posts I've been seeing lately have been blowing my fucking mind.
Oh, that's not what this is about.
Oh, shit.
Cuomo assails quarantine idea and Trump, then backtracks. Governor Andrew Cuomo compared the president's suggestion that he was considering a quarantine on the New York region to, quote, a declaration of war on states, unquote. Okay, so Trump said he would instead issue a strong travel advisory for the New York region. All right. Hours after President Trump floated the possibility of imposing an enforceable travel quarantine on the New York region, Governor Andrew M. Cuomo on Saturday assailed the idea as a, quote, declaration of war on states, unquote. Mr. Cuomo, in an interview with CNN, expressed frustration and confusion over Mr. Trump's vague suggestion earlier in the day that he was considering somehow sealing off New York, New Jersey, and parts of Connecticut to slow the spread of the coronavirus, which has the New York City area as its epicenter. Quote, this would be a declaration of war on states, Mr. Cuomo said, noting that other states were also seeing surges in confirmed cases of the virus. The idea, Mr. Cuomo said, was at odds with Mr. Trump's professed desire to restart the economy. Quote, you would paralyze the financial sector, unquote, the governor said. But on Saturday night, Mr. Trump backtracked, announcing on Twitter that, quote, a quarantine will not be necessary, unquote. He said he would instead issue what he referred to as a strong travel advisory without explaining what he meant. Earlier, Mr. Trump, speaking on the White House law White House law, says the New York Times, had said he was considering imposing what he called, without elaborating, an enforceable quarantine that would restrict travel in and out of New York, New Jersey, and parts of Connecticut. Quote, some people would like to see New York quarantined because it's a hot spot. New York, New Jersey, one or two other places, certain parts of Connecticut quarantined, Mr. Trump told reporters. He added, quote, I'm thinking about that right now. We might not have to do it, but there is a possibility that sometime today we'll do a quarantine short-term, 2 weeks on New York, probably New Jersey, certain parts of Connecticut. Adding that he would, quote, restrict travel. Quote, they're having problems down in Florida, Mr. Trump said. A lot of New Yorkers going down. We don't want that, heavily infected, unquote.
Real quick, your chaos is my serenity. Thank you so much for the devil sticker. It seems fitting. I appreciate that.
Have you guys been seeing both a combination at the same time of people claiming that, you know, there's going to be martial law and Trump's going to take over and fucking kill everybody, and at the same time people saying this virus keeps spreading because Trump won't lock everything down and he won't do anything?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, how can it be both of those at the same time?
It can't.
I've seen that shit from the same account.
Or you'll see him say that he didn't do it fast enough.
Right. Like Rachel, this is going to be part of my fucketry, but whatever. Rachel Maddow tweeted out something today saying that because Donald Trump actually tweeted out one of her segments.
Yes.
About troops and the military and everything, and he thanked her for highlighting them and everything. And then she said, well, thank you for retweeting that, but, you know, we're months behind schedule on blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, months? But we're 2 months into this in America. This started January 21st for America. How are we months behind schedule? What schedule was there for months?
Well, day one, everything that's being done now should have been done already, is what they mean. Like, literally the day it happened, everybody needed, like, the vaccine needed to be made, and everybody should be healed from it. And because it's not, you know, we're not doing it right.
Yeah, and this is the thing. It's like, okay, if you want to criticize the administration for their response to this, there are fair criticisms to make. But making shit up as though they've been completely just absent the entire time, months behind, what are you talking about? Seriously, it's just, anyway.
Yeah. We have, I don't know about you guys, but I have some fucketry on all of this stuff. So I'm going to reserve some comment for that. And you know what? Yeah. It's Tristan's birthday. And Tristan says they're having a very boring birthday because of the quarantine. That's sad. I hope you at least touched yourself.
Do you know Tristan's age, Monkey?
I feel like after I said that, I shouldn't ask. Plausible deniability.
Guys, Monkey's only been doing this for 3 years now. So, you know, this show, birthday songs and things, and maybe you'd have the wherewithal to at least hedge bets on who you're talking to before you say stuff like that.
Shit, the only time I ever talked age, it was when I was deliberately hitting on women. Mike, thank you so much, who says hashtag pickles on cripples. And Professor Chaos, thank you. This is the made media that called Trump a racist for China travel ban. I'm guessing same media that called Trump a racist for China travel ban. Yeah. Just a confidential.
Well, there you go. Great.
Tristan, it's your birthday, and I'm sorry to hear that you're stuck in the house and can't do much. So hopefully this makes it a little better. This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
No, thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
Is this making it better?
Happy birthday, dear Tristan O'Leary.
I feel like this ain't making it better.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Tristan. I hope you had a good one. If that made your birthday better, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
All right. So do you think trying to lock down New York equates to a war on states?
Well, considering the fact that I'm hearing from the same party, like we just said, the fact that it's spreading because Trump won't do anything, and also Trump needs to lock it down because I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore.
Looking beyond the actual circumstances, the federal government overtaking the authority of state government to declare something like that. I don't know if it's a war on states, but I would be very curious as to the constitutionality or what the mechanisms are there.
Well, the question is why, though, right?
Well, we know why. I mean, did you guys see today the Rhode Island thing?
No.
Oh God, I'll have to pull that story up. We'll have to talk about that one. I'm not sure the federal government can tell states to lock down, but maybe subtly hint at it to like Cuomo, like, dude, maybe you should do this. Because I mean, within the state, it can be done. I'm just not sure that the federal government has that authority.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if the federal government actually has the authority to mandate that and supersede state sovereignty on something. I mean, I guess it depends. Again, I don't know if there's something written in a law that says under these circumstances, XYZ is available to the executive or something, but I would assume not, because then you could declare an emergency anytime you wanted to. So I don't know.
Well, I had originally thought that too. I'm like, I don't think that's something that the federal government can do. But that's why I was confused why so many people are like, well, Trump won't lock everything down, so everybody's, it's spreading. And I'm like, well, it's not, he can't do that, right? I don't know.
The only thing he could have done is the one thing that they all bitched about every time it happened, and that's lock down the country itself.
Yeah.
To have tried to keep it from coming in the first place. After that, I mean, so the Mata says there's 3 Supreme Court cases that say no, they can't. I'm not up on my law on that, so I'm guessing. So yeah, I would guess it's not constitutional. We do have another birthday in our chat here. Mm-hmm. It is Kai's birthday, and she's 13 years old today.
Yes, 13, Monkey.
What a good time, man. 13 was such a fun time.
Yeah.
That was before my world came crashing down on me and life turned to shit. But
and you just said what? You just said what to a 13-year-old?
I didn't say it to a 13-year-old. I just said it out loud. I hadn't addressed Kai yet.
Okay. Magic. It's all about magic, guys. She doesn't hear it until he says her name.
Kai, it's your birthday. This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to
you. Corona Scribe is irritable.
Happy birthday to
you. And apparently amphibious.
Happy birthday, dear Kai.
No more birthday songs.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Kai. I hope you had a great one. I really do.
Indeed.
I have this story. I want to do this one since I just mentioned it. It's kind of related to that. Rhode Island will knock on doors and stop cars to find New Yorkers to slow the spread of coronavirus.
Ooh.
Rhode Island's governor said Friday that law enforcement officers will stop cars and knock on doors in coastal communities to identify people who have been to New York State, joining other states in restricting the movements of out-of-state visitors to slow the spread of coronavirus. Kentucky's governor says he's considering closing the border between Kentucky and Tennessee, and checkpoints have been set up in the Florida Keys to restrict access. Quote, right now we have pinpointed risks that we need to address, and we need to be very serious, and that risk is called New York City, said Rhode Island Governor Gina Raimondo, I think, at a press conference Friday. Starting Saturday, Rhode Island law enforcement officers and the National Guard will be going, quote, door to door in coastal communities, asking people if they've been to New York and requesting their contact information. Police began monitoring highways on noon Friday and may pull over individuals with New York State plates, asking the same questions, particularly on the base of the Newport Bridge, Raimondo said. So yeah, they're going to go door to door and be asking people, Have you been to New York?
So, what kind of phobia is this?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure it falls under something, right?
Becca says, or asks, are they going to issue a special patch to where? I don't know. I'm guessing that if they are, they're going to like tell them you can't leave this house for 14 days. And it's a request that was made by the president the other day, the president's team. Like, look, if you've come from New York, please, whenever you get where you're going, stay indoors for 14 days. Because New York is a horrible bed of virus mania. Thank you, Professor Cass, who says Florida is shutting down its border and pulling people over for the same. New York and Louisiana banned.
Wow.
Sorry, you're going to have to turn around and go back.
I'm sure there's a phobia in there somewhere.
They're going door to door. Does that seem a little paranoid?
Green Death said Travelist.
It's statist.
That's right.
I understand, I do, but that just seems so weird for the United States.
Well, I think the problem is the fact that people aren't listening. You know what I mean? And this is something that I mentioned before. The same people who are bitching at the fact that this isn't getting, better, things are getting worse, it's spreading faster, are the same motherfuckers taking selfies at the beach, or chilling outside and hanging out. And when I mentioned that on social media, I was told, no, it's just Trump supporters who are leaving their houses because they don't think it's real. And I'm like,
oh, nonsense.
Come on, dude. Come on. I'm like, this is just people in general leaving their houses.
Over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Mike Downey. Tell Tinder to stop notifying me. Not trying to catch Kung Flu from these thoughts. Also, unlawful search and seizure much? Yeah, I mean, doesn't seem like this should be happening. But I've seen a lot of arguments about this on Twitter today about the constitutionality of all of this stuff that's going on. I mean, if you do lock down your state, do you have can you go door to door? Or you just have to wait until somebody sticks their head out and then shoot them?
No, I shouldn't have laughed at that.
Well, I mean, in truth, if you're locking it all down, you say, hey, nobody can leave their house. That's what you're eventually getting to, right? And that could happen. Black people, don't stick your head out. They're going to shoot you. Just throwing that out there. Black Lives Matter taught me that.
My daughter is losing her mind. Hopefully
I hear her. She's so cute.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be back.
We watched the grandkids today because mommy and daddy ran back to their house and picked up some stuff. My youngest granddaughter is like the happiest baby I've ever met in my life. She did not cry one time today.
Oh,
not once. Well, that's not true. After her dad got back home, I passed the baby off, came down, had a cigarette, and on my way back up, I heard the baby cry. I'm like, give me that baby. And she stopped crying.
oh.
She likes her grandpa a lot. She got what we call the grandpa smile. When she sees me, she just lights up. Anyhow, yeah, I don't mean to get all sappy. Did you have something else, Scribe? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump in there, but that story was kind of related. So,
well, I have. Let's see. Well, there was a tornado in Jonesboro, Arkansas today. Tornado struck Jonesboro, Arkansas on Saturday afternoon, flattening buildings and overturning vehicles. Jonesboro E911 director Jeff Presley told KAIT the mall at Turtle Creek was damaged and authorities were conducting searches in the area. There were no immediate reports of injuries in the town located about 130 miles northeast of Little Rock. That's good. The storm moved across Jonesboro around 5 p.m., according to a video posted by the National Weather Service in Little Rock. Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson said via his Twitter that he is, quote, paying close attention to the report of a tornado that hit Jonesboro. I know there is property damage, just praying all is safe. Well, as of right now, no injuries. So fingers crossed that remains true.
Yeah, I mean, property loss sucks, but you can rebuild. We don't have zombies as a real thing in life. So when you did, you did.
And the last story I got that, as far as I know, isn't related to coronavirus.
Let's see if they work it in.
But it's still bizarre. Dozens of young women in South Korea were allegedly forced into sexual slavery on an encrypted messaging app.
Oh.
I'm very curious to know exactly how this worked. One girl wrote the word slave above her genitals. Another was made to bark like a dog while naked. Chu Jubin, a 24-year-old man, hosted online rooms on encrypted messaging app Telegram, where users paid to see young girls perform demeaning sexual acts carried out under coercion, according to South Korean police. As many as 74 victims were blackmailed by Cho into uploading images onto the group chats. Some of the users paid for access, police said. Officials suspect there are about 260,000 participants across Cho's chat rooms. At least 16 of the girls were minors, according to officials. On March 20th, the authorities announced that Cho had been arrested on charges including producing and distributing child pornography, sexual abuse, blackmail, coercion, fraud, illegal distribution of private information, and sexual assault through illegal filming, but he has not yet been indicted. For South Koreans, the case has become a lightning rod for a nation grappling with widespread sexual abuse and accusations of pervasive misogyny after a series of scandals involving the secret or forced taping of women in recent years. On Monday, President Moon Jae-in responded to the rising anger, calling for police to investigate all members of the chat groups, not just Cho. Currently, 124 people connected to the chat groups have been arrested and 18 have been detained. But for many South Koreans, an investigation is not enough. Over 4 million people have signed 2 petitions demanding the heaviest of punishments for the arrested operator and calling for the names and faces of all involved to be released. Cho, who has only appeared once since his arrest, gave a statement on March 25th at the Jonggo police station in Seoul before being transferred to the prosecutor's office. Quote, "Thank you for stopping a life of a devil which I couldn't stop myself," unquote, he said. Cho's lawyers quit on March 25th, according to the law firm and authorities. The law firm told CNN that the reason for this decision was because information they received from Cho's family when they accepted the case was very different from the facts. As in, they had the money to pay you, maybe? Let's see, the investigation. It was 2 university journalism students who brought Cho to the attention of police last July, officials confirmed to CNN. Oh my God, journalism uncovered wrongdoing? What? South Korea, what are you doing? You're doing it wrong. You need to go by CNN's example and just, you're journalists, not investigators. What are you doing? The duo, who asked to use the pseudonyms Kwan and An to protect their own safety, discovered the chat groups, which were hosted on the encrypted Telegram messaging app in the summer of 2019 as part of an assignment to investigate online sexual crimes. Though the chat groups were private, links to them were easily found by simply using keyword searches on Google. When Kwan first saw the chat room, she said she, quote, couldn't believe the scenes and messages unfolding before her eyes. I felt that I needed to bring these serious crimes to the public's attention. There were many operators running similar chats on Telegram, but Kwan and An focused on Cho, who went by the alias of Guru, and ran at least 8 groups, some of which had over 9,000 members at any one time. Cho allegedly sourced his victims by posting fake modeling jobs online. Young women would submit their personal information, including their social security numbers and addresses, so they could get paid, along with photographs. Oh boy,
Wow.
I don't know how social security numbers work in South Korea, but I'm assuming it's not a wise thing to start giving them out to strangers. Once hired, they would allegedly be asked to provide more revealing pictures. Police believe these were then used to blackmail the young women. Cho allegedly threatened to post them on the internet with their personal details if the girls did not work in his Telegram chat rooms. Cho allegedly ran free of charge chats, which offered the chance to pay to upgrade to more premium groups where they could make increasingly demanding requests of the girls. Users paid as much as $1,200 to enter a room using Bitcoin transactions.
Fuck.
Each Telegram group had about 3 to 5 girls to one chat room Guru called as slaves, who would be online and ready to take requests for pictures and videos of them performing acts, which they captured on their own cameras from both paid members and the operator, according to Kwan and An. While the encrypted nature of Telegram has proven itself to be a tool for resistance against authoritarian regimes around the world, the anonymity of the platform allows the chat room participants to be able to remain anonymous. Yeah, I remember, back when, what was it? What was that app that everybody was freaking out about a couple of years ago and doing sponsorships for?
Candid?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Was that it?
Candid, yeah, Candid. Didn't they have a similar thing? Where it's like you could remain anonymous and the rooms were like, nobody could see them, etc. But it also allowed for people to sort of have closed off siphons for doing horrible things.
I don't remember that part. The horrible part for them was what they were doing on the back end from Candid themselves.
Yes, that's true too.
Wow. Be careful using apps in South Korea. Jesus.
That's a crazy fucking story. $1,200 to get into a chat room. Good God.
I feel like if there's a $1,200 entry fee on a chat room, something bad's probably happening there.
Probably.
All right. Well, guys, that's going to bring us on to your time. It's MSS News. If there's a story you'd like us to take a look at, hit us up at the hashtag MSS News over on the Twitter machine. We can't get to them all, but that's just because I haven't slept. Now, the first one comes to us from Sean Uli. It's out of Penitas, Texas. Penitas. As the world deals with COVID-19, there are people out there looking to make a buck off your fear. No.
Oh, you're kidding me.
An ad placed in an online flea market Facebook account is advertising COVID-19 testing kits for sale in Penitas. But before you rush to buy it, no, they are not real. It's not a valid treatment. It is not a valid test. It is not valid supplies, and they are not approved by the FDA. So you do not need to buy them. Do not fall victim to these type of scams, says Dolores Salinas, the president of Better Business Bureau of McAllen. Salinas says if you see these kits online or in person, do not purchase them. Instead, call your doctor if you feel sick. Don't go to Facebook for your COVID testing. I feel like we shouldn't have to tell people that.
Yeah, we feel like you shouldn't have to tell people that maybe we should stay away from beaches and collecting together when a disease can be spread that easily too.
That's fair. That's fair. But you're right. When you're right, you're right. Oh God, Frosted. Go sit in the corner just because of where this is from. The title didn't even annoy me. Then I saw where it was from. This one comes from Frosted Glass. Trying to make sense of Donald Trump's high approval rating. This comes to us from the Mary Sue.
Oh, dude, people are their brains are breaking on the internet right now.
Oh, they're mad as shit.
Yeah, who was that? The one bitch we're always making fun of. Alyssa. Oh, she was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Because not only is his approval rating going up, his approval of specifically handling this, according to a Washington Post poll, was 51% approval. And she's like, "What?" Yeah, that's right. Calm down, bitch.
The fucking media, dude. They're controlling the narrative, and everywhere the narrative is that the president is doing a horrible job. But when you have actual people take the shit.
The problem is that they want to control the media, and it's not happening. Donald Trump's approval rating is currently the highest it's ever been, which to the 45% of us who disapprove of the job he's doing right now is just mind-boggling. But according to new polls, 49% approve of the job Trump is doing as president, while 45% disapprove, and 60% approve specifically of the way he is handling the coronavirus pandemic, with 38% disapproving. I wonder where this poll's from, because those are not the same numbers from the Washington Post poll. I wonder if she's going to explain. Those just aren't numbers I know how to process. Trump has been lashing out at Democratic governors and refusing to take necessary action on a federal level. What? What action has he refused to take?
This is part of that shit that I was talking about. He won't make everybody stay home. That's what people are saying. He won't make people stay home. And I'm like, How you want him to do that?
His slow response to the virus is the reason why we're in such a dire state now, but he won't take any responsibility at all for his administration's failings. He put Jared Kushner, who has no qualifications whatsoever, and Mike Pence, who has actually caused multiple health epidemics during his political career, in charge of his coronavirus task force. His daily press briefings are so full of lies, multiple news outlets have stopped airing them. Who are these people? 49% apparently, who think he's doing a fine job. There's the obvious explanation that in a time of national crisis, pretty much every American president has seen a surge of support thanks to a rally around the flag mentality. But there are other elements at play here too. Some pundits are blaming the media for Trump's success, saying they're being too hard on him and exaggerating his failures. Well, they are.
Yeah.
They literally are.
I suppose then causing the public to see him as sort of an underdog they need to root for, which is absurd. As a reminder, just because Trump says he's being persecuted by the media, that doesn't make it so. He is just incapable of taking anything but 100% positive coverage as objective truth, and he lashes out at any person or outlet who doesn't offer him unwavering praise.
I mean, that's not necessarily false.
It is. Hang on. This is Kyle. Thank you. Hello, chat people and Lords of the Night. Hello back. Thank you for the donation. Rachel Maddow has been a Trump hater since he got the nomination, and actually a little bit before that, and he just praised her.
Well, yeah, but
I mean, he's praised the New York. Not at that exact moment.
No.
No, look, he lashes out at the press. He does, but often it's earned.
Right.
I mean, it's absolutely earned. She's acting like, look, he doesn't like it when people are mean to him. It's not just that. Sometimes you guys are absolute lying shitbags, and we'll get to that in my fucketry. The Gallup poll supports. Oh, it's Gallup. Is this one? This idea that people are taking Trump's side over the media, who Trump has long positioned as his and America's enemy. 55% of those surveyed said they disapprove of the job the media is doing during the coronavirus outbreak. I feel we have a clue, gentlemen.
Mm-mm.
If 55% say they don't like what the media is doing and 60% say they do like what Trump is doing, I feel there's a clue there. I feel like we might be able to piece that together.
Nah, Sherlock, you're off. Sorry.
But what is the alternative to calling out Trump, even if it seems like overkill? Is the press supposed to stay silent when Trump lies, give him a participation trophy when he fails, and say, don't worry, you'll get it right during the next pandemic, even though we know he wouldn't?
Ooh.
When the media criticizes Trump for his failings, they're seen as bullies. But if they go easier, wouldn't it be taken as approval of his actions? What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
She posed a question, or whoever wrote this posed a question and then answered a different question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that? You notice that?
Uh-huh.
Because it was like, even if they go a little overboard, what else are they supposed to do? That's the issue. But she's treating going overboard as if it's a necessity. Like they have to just blow it out of proportion and lie about it. Because what's the alternative? What are they supposed to do? Nothing? And it's like, no, that wasn't the question. The question is, they shouldn't be going overboard. Should they or should they not be stretching the truth and telling lies, or should they just be covering it as is? And she's like, oh, well, what's the alternative? Do nothing? Like, no, bitch, that's not the alternative. The alternative is to tell the truth. It's easy.
Well, damn it, Satsu. How dare you with your male privilege?
These fucking people.
Paige, thank you so very much. It's very kind. It says, hey, here's some more quarantine bucks. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you. Yeah, you're spot on, Satsu. It's not a question of even if it seems like overkill. No. It is overkill to the point where you're actively lying about the man. You're actively going out there and saying Donald Trump says coronavirus is a hoax. That was an out and outright lie that at least half the fucking media told.
Yeah.
Anyhow, Da, 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 da. What do we have next? Oh God, which one of these do I want to do? You know, we're gonna do this one because it's coronavirusy, but it's not concentrating on the disease as so much. From Massive Dynamic, thank you so much. I'm stuck in isolation with my homophobic parents.
Uh-oh.
After the coronavirus outbreak suddenly ended a UK tour he was performing in, Sam, 23, a dancer from Birmingham, says he had no choice but to move back to his strict Christian family home. Quote, I saw a career I loved disappear overnight, and now I'm stuck in isolation with homophobes. Even though Sam chose to return home, he says he is struggling because he can't be himself. My mom says that homosexuality is an evil disease and that the devil is making me gay. She loudly prays every day that I'll be delivered from sin and find a wife. I genuinely have nowhere else to go during this mad time, so I'm just putting up with the abuse. You don't have any gay friends? Wow. Sam came out to his mom and dad while at university, thinking he would never live with his parents again. They didn't take it well at the time, and time hasn't changed things. He says when he started working in theater, his dad told him to be careful of homosexual men. I'm sorry, I just got a flash in my head of that 50s PSA.
Oh yeah.
He's also a homosexual.
Right.
The homosexuals were on the prowl. Sam says he feels like the LGBT community has forgotten people like him.
What?
I see on social media that people are so busy filming home workouts and holding online parties that they don't realize there are people like me struggling to stay alive right now, not because of the coronavirus, but because of their sexuality.
Wait a minute. So your parents are trying to murder you, and you're like hiding from them in your house, tweeting about this right now.
She prays, Satsu. I'm really curious. Where did you live before, dude?
I'm still trying to wrap my mind around the fact that your life is in danger. We need some more. That we can't just jump over that. Holy shit. People are dying of a deadly virus, but my parents don't like gays, so I am in much more danger.
Nikki, 19, is a marketing assistant from London. In January, she was outed as gay by a family friend. Her mom and her mom's partner immediately asked her to leave their home, saying they did not support her lifestyle decision. They only allowed her back after she experienced mental health problems. Living with my homophobic family is like having flatmates you don't like. You don't talk to them, you just get on with your life. Nikki's work schedule meant she previously got up early and returned home late. She rarely saw her family and still didn't get her own place. I used to spend as much time out of the house as I could. With the lockdown, everything has changed. I can't believe it. I'm not allowed to eat the food my mom and her partner buy. They keep saying partner. It makes it sound like her mom's gay too. Doesn't it? It's not like her mom's boyfriend or her mom's husband.
Yeah, usually when those words are substituted with partner, that's what it means. But I guess it's different over there.
My mom's partner talks about me as if I can't hear him. He says I'm disgusting and he hopes he doesn't catch what I have. Fuck. I shouldn't laugh at that, but fuck.
Look, there's no denying the fact that these people are, disgusting. They're shitty people and they're treating their kid like shit. But your life's not in danger. You're fine. They just don't want to be around you, and you clearly don't want to be around them. But you'll be okay.
Nikki had planned to move out in April, but after losing shifts at work, she is now unsure where she stands. As bad as it is at home, I just can't afford to move out. I'm using the deposit I've saved up to just get by. I need to wait for all this virus stuff to be over before I start trying again. There's another story. We're going to skip it. It's. I guess it sucks. I mean,
there's no denying that. It does indeed suck, and sure, right about it. But your life is not in danger. You'll be fine. It's okay.
I don't know if you heard. She prays loud enough for him to hear it.
Okay.
He doesn't want to catch liking pussy. I know all you need. That's a weird thing to be upset about. I might like women one day.
Oh boy. Boy.
I was kind of weirded out by that. She was only the second one. She was only allowed to come back when she had mental health problems.
Yeah.
Well, where did she go?
I don't know. Yeah, like where was she in that time? What did she develop mental health problems because of where she was?
I'm really curious about where they were and how they spent their money.
I am constantly baffled by the things that we read on a day-to-day basis. It's just genuinely shocking.
Look, he was 23. You can't expect him to be paying bills of his own.
No, not these days.
Jesus. This one comes to us from our very own Ramin Lewis. The world could be running out of condoms because of pandemic.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. By the way, as far as we know, it's not transmitted penis to vagina. But that's how babies are transmitted, and you don't want one of those.
That's right. Parasites.
Plus, there's all that, itchy stuff and leaky stuff. You don't want any of that. The world's biggest maker of condoms warned of a global shortage as supply falls by almost 50%, while its stockpile is set to last just another 2 months. Malaysia-based Carix BHD, which makes 1 out of every 5 condoms worldwide, only restarted its factories on Friday after a week-long closure, working with just half its workforce to comply with a lockdown that the country imposed to contain the spread of coronavirus. Thank you, Purple Pill, says, I've been avoiding fast food during this time. Have some spare lunch money. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. And Cody Fry, thank you. I totally relate to these people. My parents were disappointed that I watch porn, and now I'm afraid they'll chop my man parts off with a machete. Oh. Just don't leave any crunchy socks laying around. The company said condoms are mainly made in China and India, which are both heavily impacted by the pandemic. Oh, and thank you, Cody. I don't know if I had said that. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, demand is growing at double digits as governments around the world issue stay-at-home notices, and many people abstain from having children due to uncertain future, said Go My Kayat, Group Chief Executive Officer at Carix. So here's the deal, guys. Everybody's out buying condoms because they expect to fuck a lot. Just rinse them out. You can reuse them. Turn them inside out. They're just as good.
Add this to the Horrible Monkey Advice archive.
Yeah.
The Ranting Monkeys for entertainment purposes only. Look, this is what Ziploc bags were made for.
I'm thinking that is also very false.
Faithless says condoms are made in China. No wonder I have a brother. There you go,
bro.
Look, man, there's other ways to do it. Go oral, y'all. Just stick it in her mouth. She'll like it. What?
No.
This one comes from Becca. Actor Matthew Faber. I'm not sure how to say that. Dead at 47.
Who?
I don't know him.
What's his name? Sorry.
Matthew Faber. Faber. Faber.
Yeah, Faber. Huh.
Faber.
Okay.
Who starred in a number of cult classic films in the 90s, has died, TMZ has learned. Faber. Was it Faber?
Faber.
Faber.
Yeah.
Faber was found deceased Saturday inside his Van Nuys, California apartment. This after his family hadn't heard from him in some days and asked the landlord to his building to open up the unit.
Damn.
According to his brother, his death appears to be natural. He was 47. Let's see. Matt is perhaps best known for his role as Mark Wiener in 1995's Welcome to the Dollhouse and his 2004 sequel, Palindromes. He also starred in Natural Born Killers, Hard Luck, The Pallbearer, Ride with the Devil, Sue, and several other mid to late 90s flicks. Yeah, I don't recognize him at all. So, damn. 47. Jesus, that's only a couple years off.
Yeah.
Oh, and on that same kind of notion, this one comes to us from Desert Tramp. Doug Clark of Mighty Sphincter is dead at 58. Now, I don't know who Doug is, and I've never heard of them, but vampires can have heart attacks. Doug Clark, the guitarist in the influential death rock group Mighty Sphincter, died on March 22nd, 2020. Over the 38 years they were a band, Mighty Sphincter released 5 full-length records and half a dozen or so singles and EPs, if you count official recordings. Numerous tapes and bootlegs are floating around out there. Clark was truly one of the most talented musicians to come out of Phoenix. Quote, he was a big part of the Phoenix punk how Phoenix punk developed into weirdo sound, remembers Michael Cornelius. So yeah, a couple of, I don't know of him either, but fans, I feel your loss. I know how it goes when somebody like is passed. Man, who's going to be number 3? Celebrity's always going 3. The guy who played Barney. Oh, God, this one, I've seen this floating around for a couple of days. We might as well cover the story. This one comes from Shio. Uranus has started leaking gas, NASA scientists confirm.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be laughing at that.
As if 2020 couldn't get any more cursed, NASA scientists looking back through decades-old data from Voyager 2 spacecraft have discovered a mysterious gas escaping from Uranus. This sounds like a Mad Lib we've done or something. The data shows some mysterious force sucking the atmosphere straight out of the planet and into space. Mashishu, thank you so much. Condom shortage. Just buy rubber gloves and cut off the fingers. Presto, instant condoms. Unless those are like extra large gloves, sweetie. But thank you for the donation. Buried data reveals that when the spacecraft flew past the gas giant in 1986, it passed through something called a plasmoid that escaped and stole a big old cloud off the planet's atmosphere along with it. NASA have learned from Voyager 2's gassy expedition that the plasmoid itself was about 127,000 miles long and twice as wide. The data, first published in August in the journal Geophysical Research Letters, will be able to give NASA a much more detailed understanding of Uranus's atmospheric composition. However, it won't be able to tell them everything. Imagine if one spacecraft just flew through this room and tried to characterize the entire Earth, NASA researcher Gina DeBraccio said in a news press release. Obviously, that's not going to show you anything about what the Sahara and Antarctic are like. There you go. Uranus is leaking gas, guys. Just saying.
All right.
Let's see. What else do we have in here? Man, so much Corona news, man. What time is it? Let's see if we can get one more. Find one that's not. Gamer Valine, thank you so much. Hey, all, has anyone seen an increase in crime like car break-ins with everything closed? I haven't heard of anything really.
I don't know. I haven't heard any. Yeah, if there has been, I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, me neither.
Let me see. Oh man, all of this is Corona. Let's see. This one comes to us from David Schoen. Okay. Yes, we long have referred to disease outbreaks by geographic places. Here's why we shouldn't anymore, of course.
Yes, we long have done this thing, and it wasn't a problem, but now it is. So,
Yeah, this is from CNN, you guys.
All right, let's hear it.
What's in a virus name? Infectious diseases throughout history have been named for geographic locations where they were thought to have originated. Spanish flu, West Nile virus, Middle East respiratory syndrome, Zika, and Ebola, to name a few. By that logic, it may seem there's nothing inherently wrong. I almost said wrong. That's not right. Wrong with referring to the novel coronavirus as the Wuhan virus or the Chinese virus, language which President Donald Trump has used and defended using.
Excuse me. This is from who? CNN?
This is from CNN, yeah.
Don't make me get the motherfucking clip.
Wuhan is, after all, considered the first epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak and has since become a global pandemic. No, back up. Not just, it's the first place it was known to have even existed. Before there was an outbreak, it's the first place it was known to have actually been. Patient zero is there somewhere.
Completely erasing history right now, and it is fascinating watching this take place right in front of us.
What the hell are they talking about? But the past has shown naming diseases after places can have negative consequences for nations, economies, and people. Here's why scientists and scholars say these naming practices are problematic. Oh, fuck. By the way, this is not a CNN opinion piece.
Nope.
What's it under?
It is just under news.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Oh, don't make me get the clip. God damn it.
One reason why scientists and health officials caution against using geographic locations to refer to disease is that they can turn out to be misleading and in some cases inaccurate. Thank you, Gamer Valine. I love how catty he was emphasizing China. Thank you for the donation. I knew this was coming. Take, for example, what's commonly referred to as the Spanish flu. Despite its name, most researchers agree that the H1N1 virus that swept the world in 1918. Fuck, man. Dyslexia. 1918 and 1919 didn't originate in Spain, although there's no universal consensus on its exact origin. Instead, the virus came to be associated with Spain for reasons that were largely political, like it being the place that it had the biggest problem at the time. The pandemic happened against the backdrop of World War I. Though the virus had been circulating around the world, nations such as Germany, France, the United Kingdom, and the United States were reluctant to disseminate news on outbreaks within their own border because they didn't want the other side to know their soldiers were sick, according to the History Podcast Backstory. According to the History Podcast, they didn't even go to a fucking professor for this. We went and talked to a professor of history at NYU. No, we listened to a podcast.
I better start seeing some according to Lords of the Nights in these fucking articles.
No shit. And look, I'm not even saying that the podcast is wrong, but that's your source? For fuck's sake. Because Spain was neutral in the war, it didn't suppress news about the virus. So when Spain's news agencies began reporting in spring 1918 about the epidemic that had appeared in Madrid, it created the false perception that the virus originated in Spain and that the Spaniards bore the brunt of the disease. In reality, out of the estimated 50 million people who died of the virus, less than 260,000 were likely from Spain. Likely, assumed, yeah, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Said these are facts, folks.
Well, they heard it on a podcast. Such assumptions contributed to the idea that the virus. Look, if you listen just to podcasts, you might think it's okay to use a fucking Ziploc bag as a condom. It's not. Such assumptions contributed to the idea that the virus was far and away and therefore not as relevant to people outside Spain. But as we now know, the United States United States' failure to take proper precautions against the pandemic had devastating results in Philadelphia. Calling the coronavirus the Wuhan virus or the Chinese virus could have a similar effect today, according to Ho Fung Hung, a professor. Well, at least he talked to a professor this time. A professor of political economy at Johns Hopkins University. Yes, I know I fucked up saying that. Hung, whose past work has explored how ethnic bias and racism contributed to less effective responses against the 2003 SARS outbreak, cautioned that using such terms could actually inhibit efforts to contain the spread of coronavirus. Quote, this virus spreads very rapidly beyond ethnic boundaries to people beyond the original community affected. Is there anybody who thinks you can't get this if you're not from Wuhan?
Well, that was going to be my next question. What they're insinuating here is that the people who they know read their stuff is so stupid that if you say China virus, they'll be like, oh, then it's impossible to get here because it's China virus. We can't get it here, even though we complain daily about all the cases that are increasing over here, even though the fucking media is oversaturating the current discourse with the fact that it is super dangerous and going to kill us all and we should all panic. Still, if you use this term, people won't know that you can get it here. They'll think you can get it over there. Yeah. And that's it. Like, come on, dude.
Nobody thinks that this is some nonsense that they're trying to spread because they're trying to justify their bullshit about attacking Trump for saying Chinese virus after they were caught doing it over and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make Satsu get the video.
Don't make me get the motherfucking clip. I'm about to get the clip.
Just add that shit to CNN.
I'm about to get the clip.
Thank you guys for all the submissions tonight. Jesus Christ.
It's that shit right there, man.
Satsu, what'd you do on YouTube today?
About to get the motherfucking clip. That's what I'm about to do on YouTube today.
Nobody believes that shit. How you're full of shit.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I uploaded another video today. A continuation of the quarantine anime series that I've started. Today was cerebral anime, shows that get your brain working and make you think. Pretty good list of them on there too. I think you guys should check it out. I got some very interesting shows on there. I also recorded myself cooking a broccoli and beef dish today, which was really good. But I don't know if I'm going to use it because I overcooked the broccoli, which is fine. Like, I don't care because I don't care. I actually, like it to be a little more soft than whatever, but it doesn't look as nice as I'd like it to. So I'm a little picky like that. So we'll see. But I do have the footage. Maybe I'll do a culinary speed run of that one, and then do the official one with it looking a little more presentable. We'll see. We got a 7 Days to Die stream tonight, and we might be in some trouble. I don't know. I'm not sure. We kind of set ourselves up for some terrible scenarios here. We've committed to doing prefabs only, and seem to have forgotten that demolishers exist.
I tried warning you.
Well, okay, but man, look. All right, well, we'll see. Come and watch tonight. We're not gonna have the horde tonight, are we?
Yeah.
Is it tonight?
It'll be tonight.
Oh fuck, we are fucked. Okay, well, yeah, come and see this shit show tonight because it's gonna be something else. Because we don't even have a base secured at this point, so it should be fun. And that's pretty much what I've been up to today.
All right, Scribbles, what you been up to, man?
I did another TED Excellence episode today on a woman who, at least by the title of the presentation, was promising a solution as to how to do away with gender bias at the workplace. And wouldn't you know it, the solution is gender bias at the workplace.
Well, that's convenient.
structuring things in order to assume the weakness of women and give them all of the resources and opportunities, etc., because they're women. And it was one of those lopsided things. I started out by saying, okay, if a few things are going to be mentioned here. It'll be, I was just guessing because I don't watch these things before I do them. I said the Fortune 500, CEOs or something, and women being interrupted, or women having their ideas stolen by men, etc. And almost to a one, I think, except for explicitly mentioning the Fortune 500 thing, she went through the same routine as so many times before. And she even mentioned that one thing that kind of undercut her whole deal, she told a story at the beginning of her own personal experience where she was working on a project and had an idea, and she sent an email to one of the people she had to get an okay from, and waited for him to respond to her. And she said she even was like in meetings and looking him in the eyes and kind of trying to get his attention. And then a week later, some other guy sent that guy her plan and took credit for it, and she didn't say anything. And I'm
Why
like,
not?
I was like, I think you've already just described your problem in that you made those choices. You didn't talk to the guy directly. You didn't correct the stolen idea or get that guy in trouble for doing such a blatant thing. And then she goes on to say, oh, $8 billion have been spent over the last several years on diversity training, and yet it's not working. Women still don't have equity with men in the workplace. And I'm like, is that because women continue to make different decisions than men by any chance? Because if you're telling us that throwing money at the problem isn't the solution to what you see as a problem, then I'm not quite sure what else you're looking for. But she had some kind of product or service to pitch, I guess, but at no point, as far as I can tell, did she ever say the name of her organization or anything else. So it was one of those things where I was like, maybe this will be interesting. And it just turned out to be kind of a nothing burger. But it was an entertaining nothing burger because she kept contradicting herself, and people seemed to like it. So I have another one lined up for Monday, I think, and it'll be fat shaming and thin privilege, that kind of thing. But tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific time, which would be 11 a.m. Eastern time, over on Tailed Features channel, will be the first of maybe a series wherein Tailed Feature attempts to teach me how to speak Gaelic.
All right.
And that's all I got.
Okay. Let's see. I did nothing. I was going to take the night off and sleep, and I took the night off and didn't sleep, unfortunately. So I did nothing. And tonight, I was on the game stream last night. So that's the only thing I did since yesterday. But we'll be doing the game stream, as Satsu said, over on 2 Cents Plus. About an hour into the broadcast is when we will be having that Horde Night, you guys. So come check that shit out. It's going to be – I'm going to have my motorcycle real close. Let me put it that way.
The special word for tonight is finagle.
Special word for tonight is run, bitch. With that, we're going to move on to humpetry. Satsu, any humpetries?
I know something happened today. Did I share that disgusting video? I shared that video yesterday, didn't I?
Last night, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, apparently, a lot of people were grossed out by that. I woke up to a whole lot of comments of people just like, why? Why do you hate everyone on your Twitter feed? And I don't. I love you guys, which is why I show you horrible things. So that way you can get accustomed to seeing horrible things. That's love, right?
Well, because of that, Stargazer Nuts accused me of being a bad friend.
What? Why?
Because I retweeted it and said it was your fault. And she said I was encouraging you. I said, I'm trying to encourage you because you're my friend. And she says, sometimes you're supposed to tell your friends no. And I'm like, I don't think so.
I mean, there are definitely times you should tell your friend no. Hey,
don't take her side.
Can I borrow your girl's vagina tomorrow? It's like, no, you can't. Sorry.
Well, it depends. If it's that girl, yeah.
Oh, what type
You
of
can't have it.
what type of subhuman? I don't even know. I guess I wanted to do initially when I posted that I was gonna put nice things only, like you can only say something good about this, and to just see what people were going to come up with, because it would have been very difficult, but that didn't happen. There was a over on Facebook, just it's kind of business as usual over here. I spend most of my time on Facebook. Just kind of correcting people on some of the false narratives that they're still spreading to this day for some god awful reason. And there was somebody I know over there who was like, why is it when Trump is doing press conferences pretty much every day, and every day he has at least one or two actual genuinely stupid things that he says or does or something that he lies about, with him fucking up so frequently, why is it that we still need all this fake shit? And this is a person who hates Trump. Like they can't stand him, but they're just like, it annoys me to no end, because because they're like, now that I'm actually paying attention, now that I'm actually out here, and instead of just looking at what the news presented with these conferences or whatever, I'm actually watching them and seeing it myself and then reading these articles. It's annoying to me, even though I don't like Trump, that I have to feel like I need to be like, no, this is wrong. Because I feel like, once again, I feel like I'm defending Trump. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, oh my God, story of my motherfucking life. Because I'm just tired of seeing it. And she was like, I don't even know who to trust anymore. Like, is there any trustworthy media out there? And I'm just like, I mean, not really. Just read multiple sources and put the pieces together. That's all you can kind of do now. Because this shit is ingrained, man. It ain't going nowhere until Trump does. And even when he does, it still ain't going nowhere. It's just going to kind of shift over to the other side a bit. So fucking strap in. Otherwise, I mean, same old shit, man. Same shit. Ain't really got too much specific fucketry.
All right. Scribbles, got anything?
I got a couple of things. There was some kind of, it seems like some kind of coordinated assault on people's generosity today. Even the people that I'm not necessarily familiar with or big fans of. So someone named Manny Fidel, blue checkmark, Business Insider reporter or something, said, Kylie Jenner donated $1 million to coronavirus relief. That's a lot of money. But it's easy to forget how much the super rich are actually sacrificing. Her net worth, $1 billion. The average millennial net worth is $8,000. It's like us donating $8. And
net worth.
And I said, yes, it's very easy to forget that $8 is not $1 million. How much should Kylie Jenner or anyone else be required to hand over of their personal wealth then? What should be the legally binding tithe? And then in a similar vein, a little while later, Ken Klippenstein, who is a reporter for The Nation, tweeted this out. It says, Mark Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chan and Bill Gates to fund $25 million coronavirus research group. And so Ken Klippenstein said, so that would be 0.045% of his wealth. The billionaire defenders have logged on, he said, after a bunch of people were like, what the fuck is your problem? And I said, because billionaire is now a criminal classification, by the way.
Well, remember, they're not supposed to exist.
Yeah, and they're giving away too little money. They should be giving away all of their money to one particular situation because I don't know.
Real quick, Gamer Valine, thank you. Last night when one of the guys coughed on the smoking patio, I moved right next to him while everyone else freaked out. I have allergy-induced asthma.
Okay.
Seems dangerous, but be careful out there.
Yeah. I got pollen allergies and stuff, so getting close to that time where I'm not going to be able to tell is this a symptom or is it just I walked by a field of grass or something. And I think I already talked about the Rachel Maddow thing. I think one of the last things I got is someone named Ariel Scarella.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who she is, but apparently she's somebody with a blue check mark. She said, YouTubers who gain an audience only off of talking shit about other YouTubers are the worst type of YouTubers. And I said, but isn't this you talking shit about other YouTubers? I are confuzzled, I said. Like, what?
She's the lesbian that recently said fuck the left because she got kicked out of a lesbian panel in Australia because a trans woman complained.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And aside from that, just so you guys know, I don't know if it was on the basis of the Corona situation, but if you go to Hasbro's YouTube channel, they have posted 15 full remastered episodes of the G.I. Joe cartoon. Entire story arcs, 5-episode story arcs of adventures and things. So if you have a hankering for some G.I. Joe or some nostalgia, it's all free over on Hasbro's YouTube channel. And that's it.
Thank you again, Gamer Valine, who says he was vaping. It'll happen. And look, I'm not standing by anybody coughing right now. I move away from myself if I cough. Just throwing that out there. Just be safe. That's all I'm saying. Let's see. My humpetry today. Oh, I didn't get on here all that much, to be honest with you, because I was with the girls most of the day. Only if I'd sneak down for a cigarette and then I'd jump on Twitter real quick just to see what was going on. And this, for some reason, it popped up in my feed, even though it's from the 21st. It's Amber Phillips. Amber Phillips is a reporter for the Washington Post, and she works at their part called The Fix. And she tweeted this out on the 21st. My apologies for quoting the president out of context. As the Washington Post fact checker makes clear, he called Democrats politicizing, that's what the word is, coronavirus a hoax. I have deleted the incorrect tweet. She's one of those people who originally tweeted that the president said that the virus was a hoax. And it just occurred to me that I'm getting to the point, I think these people are lying on purpose. I really do.
I know they are.
And I seriously, I really do believe it. And I hate to be that person, but the lie doesn't die. She made that apology, and in the fucking comments to it, there's people who know he called it a hoax. And just seems, all you got to do is get the lie out there, and the lie doesn't die. And I hate being like that. But then in the comments to me saying that to her, I had people pulling this kind of shit. Where at one point, somebody actually used as their fucking evidence in the argument we were having a meme that was said to quote the president. That's not an actual quote from the fucking president. And then they backed it up with, well, I mean, maybe one or two words are off. It was in fucking quotation marks. That's supposed to be a direct quote, and you used it as fucking evidence. And all I had to do to prove you were wrong is bring up a Snopes article. Snopes, the group so fucking far left, they fact-checked the Babylon fucking Bee. And even they're telling you, your facts are fucking wrong.
Well, probably the best thing that was told to me about this whole incident when it comes to the Trump and what he said about it being a hoax. They told me specifically, it doesn't matter if he actually said it or if he was taken out of context, because the bottom line is he would have said something like that. And I just my brain just imploded because I'm like, what exactly do you say to that? What's your response to that shit?
Thank you, Cryptic, who says, we all know the media and celebs are evil. Well, I don't think it's all of them, but it's enough of them that it's all it takes is the lie to get out there just a little bit. The fucking Los Angeles Times just ran that story a couple of days ago on Kathy Griffin being in the hospital for suspected corona when there was no suspicion of corona at all.
Oh, they're journalists.
Bug.
They're journalists, Monkey, not investigators. You got to remember.
Oh. Well, in their fucking story, they talk about how she had a fucking stomach bug, got treated for it, and sent home. But they still, she wouldn't get tested for corona. Yeah, because the other part of the argument that we got into is this asshole talking about how there's this idea out there that the president has said he's not going to give ventilators and masks and stuff to states whose governors are mean to him. Not what he said. Not even close to what he fucking said. He was asked about if this was building good relationships with him being the leader and the people, kind of falling in line to make all of this a better situation. And what he had pointed out is there's a couple of them who aren't. They're being kind of shitbags. But there's a quote out there, that he never said, saying that if people aren't nice to him, I'm paraphrasing. If people aren't nice to him, he's not going to give them ventilators. Not even close to what he said, but it's being repeated as truth because it's been in headlines that way. It fucking pisses me off. Like, you guys know you're lying. You have to know you're lying. All you had to do go back to the hoax thing. All you had to do was watch the fucking video. But we saw this same thing remember, Trump says he's the chosen one. And you watch the video, he made a fucking joke. And you guys put it out there as though he's claiming, God chose me personally. No, he's making a fucking joke. Fucking dirty shits. Fucking dirty shits. I don't want to talk about the Cuomo one other than to say they have a whole bunch of ventilators there in New York stored. And he was asked about it, and at first he goes, no. And then he says, yeah, we have a bunch of them stored. Bill Mitchell, this is the title of the stream. Did you see his tweet today?
I did, and it's bizarre.
Bill Mitchell tweeted out, diarrhea kills 1.8 million a year. 1.8 million. Where's my diarrhea check?
Oh boy.
Where's my diarrhea check? Cody Fry, thank you. The media's lying ways make it really hard to debate with people. I can't tell you how many people think I'm a moron because I argue against the narrative, whatever it may be. Look, sometimes the narrative's right, but lately it doesn't seem to be very much at all. But thank you for the donation. I trust me. I feel your pain, man. I feel your pain. Bill, the reason you don't get a diarrhea check is because we have not shut down the fucking economy over worldwide diarrhea deaths. And I don't know how you even find that out. How many people have died around the world from diarrhea?
Somebody's obviously keeping tabs.
That or he made some shit up. I don't know. Either way, there's a reason you're not getting a check. And there's a reason people like me, who are usually small government, stop spending my money, are actually on board with even a little overspending with this stimulus. This is a special situation. We've actually told stores they can't open or shouldn't be opening. We're literally shutting the economy down for this. We haven't done that for your diarrhea, sir. I maybe stop eating at Taco Bell and you'll feel better. Hashtag Trump genocide was trending today. And in one of them, just kind of to make my point about, people lying and just repeating it, this guy tweets out Trump genocide, January 22nd, 2020. Quote, no risk of pandemic. Everything is under control. We trust China, end quote. And then there's a video of Donald Trump right underneath it. You know what Trump doesn't say in that video? That fucking quote.
Also, isn't Trump the one saying like China isn't being totally truthful and there's some issues with the back of whose fault it is?
In fairness, Trump has not been as hard on China as he should be.
Right.
He's he has pushed back a little bit to their bullshit of them saying it came from us.
Mm-hmm.
But like he just had the conversation with President Xi. How are you supposed to say that? Because he says she. I thought it was Xi.
It's she.
She? Okay. He had that conversation with him last night, the night before. He had a phone call with him, talking about how great the call went and how we're working together with them and everything's good. I'm like, is it? Is it? We have another birthday. This one is for where I saw it. Desert Rat's daughter. Her name is Vera, and she's 4. 4. What a great time. My little butt is 4. Mm-hmm. Vera, sweetheart, this one is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
I will accept one more birthday song.
Happy birthday to you.
But only because you're 4.
Happy birthday, dear Vera.
Dear Vera.
Oh, God. Squeetus is going to be 4.
Happy birthday
to
you. Happy birthday, little one. I hope you had a great one. And yes, one day your daughter will be 4. Good luck with that.
I'm like, I don't know if
you know, 4 is not so bad. One day she's going to be 1.5.
Oh, God.
They call it the terrible 2s, but it never starts at 2. It always starts early. Get a taser now.
She's already insane, so I mean.
Oh, and the taser's not for her; it's for you. When you just can't take anymore, hit yourself. The Hollywood Reporter tells us these cast members have a compromised immune system already. They're not okay. They're not feeling comfortable. Between March 20th and 26th, TLC's My 600-Pound Life was actively filming in at least 3 states despite social distancing recommendations.
Well, there's your problem right there.
Well, Squishy gonna be happy about that. She like, I need more episodes.
Yeah, along with the fact that they are 600 pounds or more to begin with.
Yeah, trust me, they social distancing. They ain't got no choice.
Yeah, they'll be fine. I just love the first part. They have compromised immune systems already. What happened to healthy at any size?
Oh, yeah, monkey. Don't say that. That's fat shaming.
I thought I thought you could be a big old fat ass and just be healthy as can be. Maybe, and here's an idea. Don't glorify these fat fucks to begin with.
But there's no profit in that, monkey.
At least have the balls to be honest about it and just call it the freak show.
Oh.
That's what it is. It's a modern day freak show. Come see the fat fuck.
It kind of is. Like if you watch the way the show flows or whatever, they got all the sentimental music or whatever, but look at all the camera shots. The zooming in on them eating and just like, you know, it's a spectacle.
Yeah, it's what it's meant to be. And just be honest about it. But we can't do that anymore. We're not allowed to have freak shows. Although they have midgets on there, they got fat fucks on there. Do they have bearded ladies? I'm pretty sure they do.
No.
And then the only other one was Alyssa Milano and her what? Because the Washington Post poll found the 51%. Some of the comments in that are absolutely wonderful. But that's all I have for this evening, which means we're on to question time, guys. Questions, comments, concerns, throw them into the chat now. We'll do our best to get to them. Scribbles, what time is your show tomorrow with Tailed?
It's 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time over on Tailed Features channel. And I will be, tweeting out the link and everything because as I was reported to many times today, at least my streams are not showing up in people's subscription lists or getting any notifications whatsoever. So I will send out the link on Twitter as soon as I have it.
There you go. And don't forget to come watch us Over on 2 Cents Plus right after this with some zombie mayhem going on tonight. It's going to be, whew, we're in for some trouble, man. I think this will work for this night as long as they don't destroy that platform we're on. But whew, I'm not real confident tonight.
How are we going to incorporate the dart traps?
I don't know if we can.
We might be able to. I just
unless we make a definitive way for them to come up, I don't think we can. We could, I mean, maybe put them along the where we're going to have the balance beam.
If we build a platform around the back where they're actually going to be walking on the catwalk and just put it like in that lane, we might be able to do it.
We'll look. Circus says TLC's Watch This Fat Person season 6 starts soon. Oh man, they love fat people over there, man. If Chris is Fredo, it's Andrew, Sonny, or Michael. I probably Sonny. It's not Michael. I don't think there's a Michael in that whole crew. Scribe, since you either missed or ignored Data Wasteland's question last night, I'll ask it for him. Have you noticed that Biden is looking like Walter the puppet?
Who's Walter the puppet?
I don't know.
I don't know either. So I haven't noticed because I don't know who Walter the puppet is.
Have you heard complaints about Joe Biden's alleged accusations more from the right or Sanders supporters? Right now, I'm seeing it more from Sanders supporters. I see people on the right laughing about it, but genuine complaints I see coming from Sanders supporters. There was some, who was it today that I saw? I can't remember. Some righty who was, they're like, hey, why aren't you taking Joe Biden's thing seriously? Where like most everybody's like, why aren't you guys taking this one seriously? It's more of a joke way of saying it. Sanders supporters like, see, you guys bedded down with a rapist. Why? And you're still going to just vote for the rapist. I don't necessarily blame them, but yeah, I still think the charges are bullshit. There's tonight, Hillary's gloating about the U.S. having the most number of cases of coronavirus. Will she be so smug when corona overtakes her body count?
No.
Well played, sir. I did see the meme going around. Hillary Clinton is tested negative for president of the United States.
That was funny. I saw that. That was funny.
That's clever. Well played. Yeah. We have a lot of people who are ridiculously happy about the United States overtaking the most infected in the land kind of thing. But yeah, those are just dirty fuckers, man. Did you see that John Callahan from All My Children died today? I did not. So there's number 3.
Nope.
Speaking of Fredo, do you like Alfredo? Not really.
Okay, are these quotes for real? Hold on. I just saw somebody posted on Facebook a quote from Biden and a quote from AOC. And I don't know if they're real. Has anybody heard these before? Biden says, people will die, people who have never died before.
Oh, God. I haven't heard that, but I wouldn't doubt it. So I'm gonna tentatively doubt for now.
Yeah. And AOC says there are homeless people out here who can't pay their mortgages.
Well, they might if they're homeless because they can't pay their mortgages.
I mean, that ain't what she said, though.
Well, I know, but I'm just trying. Like I said, benefit of the doubt, trying to figure out what she could have meant without being completely idiotic. I don't know.
What have you noticed? On one side, there is a case of people who, are Democrats or lefties saying something specifically, word for word, like an actual quote, and then people running forward and saying, no, that's not what they meant. They meant something totally different. And then on the other side, you have somebody saying something that wasn't a direct quote, like something completely different, but they're quoting what they think he meant as absolute fact. Like that's the direct quote. have I been the only person noticing that? Because it is a side specific thing. If I made any sense there.
I haven't been paying attention to that, but I wouldn't doubt it. Do you like Alfredo?
What kind of Alfredo?
Well, Alfredo's the sauce, isn't it?
I guess.
So, I prefer a marinara sauce or a spaghetti sauce to Alfredo.
I like a good chicken Alfredo if it's good. I don't know. I mean, you can have bad Alfredo, I suppose.
Would right now be the best time for a serial killer to emerge in New York, Paris, etc.? I mean, depends on your method, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Because
serial killer's gonna have a hard time given how everybody's locked down and not roaming around the streets as much in those places.
No, would it be a good time or the best time for serial killer to strike? I mean, it's not like the bodies are getting destroyed; they're just dying. So probably not. Oh, Lords, did you know that 70+% of the deaths by diarrhea are in Africa? So that guy be lying. I don't know if that means he's lying. It means a lot of people in Africa are dying. Walter's one of Jeff Dunham's puppets. Oh, the old guy.
okay.
Gotcha. Describe not know how funny Jeff Dunham is. Look, I've watched Jeff Dunham a long time. Before he finally had his big breakout, he was on a Rodney Dangerfield special long time ago with Just Peanut. And I forgot all about him until he blew up. I'm like, oh my God, this motherfucker's still around?
Oh, yeah. He got a shit ton of puppets now.
Yeah. I love Peanut's my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Always has been.
Peanut and Ahmed.
Oh, Ahmed was just right time, right place, man. And how he still gets away with that is beyond me. Where were we at here? Have you heard about the DOJ seeking to arrest Maduro, God damn it, and others in his regime on drug trafficking charges? Yeah. Did we talk about that the other night?
I don't think we did, no.
Yeah, he was labeled a drug dealer. Yeah. Desert Rat says there's a video posted to the hashtag. I'll have to check it after the show, unless one of you guys want to check it out. Who's everybody's Jeff Dunham favorite Dunham puppet? Yeah, like I said, mine is Peanut. Because Peanut's just silly. What are your best worst case scenarios for first contact with aliens? Best case, we are accepted into the galactic world of planets, and everything is almost Star Trekian, and we go out in science and technology, and everything goes well, and we're able to colonize all kinds of planets. Worst case, they land here, and whoever sees them first eats them.
Well, I'm a weeb, so I'm sure you could probably guess.
Oh, some's getting fucked with tentacles.
Best case, what Monkey said. Worst case, they're boring.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's like, yeah, they show up and like, hi. And it's like, yeah, like, okay, bye. It's like, there's no excitement. There's no, I mean, yeah, they've got intergalactic travel technology, which would be crazy, but they themselves are just like completely plain and not interesting at all.
Oh, wow. Sorry, somebody sent me something. Who sent me this? Let me click it. I clicked the link and didn't even look at it. Massive Dynamics sent me a link from PolitiFact that says, first, this claim for the Joe Biden quote, they said that Trump said it, and now they're saying that Biden said it, and they said neither is true.
Wow, that was complicated.
Yeah, so I didn't even know. Like, I never saw the claims that Trump said this.
I wouldn't be surprised. Suzanne says U.S. has overtaken Italy in positive corona tests. Talk to me when the U.S. has 6 times the number. Well, actually, we overtook China. And
so they say.
Well, in the number of reported cases.
Yeah.
See, we're now actually talking about three different numbers, because there's the actual number, which we will never know. We just can't.
Yes.
Then there is the known number, which is how many people we've tested. And then there's the reported number, which is where China's numbers come into play.
Right.
Because I don't trust that they've only had 90,000 cases. That is fucking bullshit. Did you see AOC's tantrum on the House floor? Sargon did a video on it. Yeah, I saw it the day it happened. And I've seen several different cuts of people putting her in different videos or with different music. It's awesome. Somebody did a side-by-side comparison with a Hitler speech.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, there's a lot of people are having fun with that because, yeah, she threw a fucking fit like a child. Oh, fuck yeah, we aren't locked down in the U.S. Come on out, serial killer. Depends on the city. I mean, you're still supposed to be indoors in a lot of them. Soup killer equals serial killer. Wrong kind of cereal, my friend. Wrong kind of cereal. Do you think a zombie survival plan could help us handle future pandemics and other natural disasters? No.
I mean, it depends on what parts of the zombie thing you're talking about. I mean, there are some universal sort of prepare for disaster sort of things in there, but otherwise, probably not.
Well, the thing with the zombie ones is, for at least most of us, that is the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
You know, society is absolutely collapsed at that point. And so, oh my, I'm sorry.
What?
Desert Rat, is this? Oh my goodness.
What?
Nobody went and checked this video, and I was told we had to check it, so I came and checked it. Vera told us thank you.
Oh, there's a video of this?
There's a video of little 4-year-old Vera telling us that. It's on the hashtag from
Which
Desert
hashtag?
Rat. Our hashtag, MSS News.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a couple of hashtags associated with this.
There's only one for this show.
Uh-huh.
But by the way, it's on MITAM too. So tell her she is very welcome, and I really do hope she had a great birthday. But yeah, the zombie survival plans are usually like last ditch. You want something before we get to zombie.
Yeah.
You want something. God, she is so adorable.
Oh.
No, thank you. China's test kits have been proven to have a 70 to 80% failure rate, so there's a second reason to doubt their numbers. Even if they were 100% accurate, I wouldn't believe their fucking numbers. Thank you for the donation, but yeah, there's just no way. There's just no fucking way. They did not lock everybody indoors, which would have been required with by the time they took action for it to not spread. You were talking about a city that is packed.
Yeah. If you think New York situation is bad, imagine that like tripled.
Yeah.
And in a place with even and we're talking about a country, and like I said, a friend of mine went there to teach English for a while, and she came back with like upper respiratory problems because the air quality there is so bad to begin with. So you combine that, years and years living amongst that, with this disease in a tightly packed, dense population. Yeah, the numbers they're putting out make no sense. No sense at all.
Aaliyah's gonna have hair like that. She's so adorable.
Mm-hmm.
That girl's cute as a button, man.
Yeah, she's adorable.
Oh lords, would you try a jacked up potato with a side hashed beef and a painkiller to drink, a rum cocktail?
Jacked up potato? What's that?
Jacked up potato. That's not. I don't need anything jacked up. I know I harp on about my journalism degree. It required me watching lots of media. I can confirm they definitely lie. You can see it in their story structure. Well, look at what we saw with that idiot who ate the fish tank cleaner.
Yeah.
Even when they weren't directly lying, they were still lying. They linked it together, even though there's no way to actually. The closest you can say is Trump said some people are working on it, are working on testing this stuff, and this guy ate fish cleaner. And instead, it came out he ate fish cleaner because Trump told him to. Yeah, you can go fuck rate. Let's see. We've had 3 visits by aliens. Unfortunately, they landed in China and got eaten. They weren't very tall. And Parody Bear says best case Bill Cosby style. Oh my God.
Oh no.
Corner, young man. Corner. What's the per capita rate? Asked Faithless. I don't know. I've seen it, but I'm not positive right now offhand. I mean, if we overtake China, that would be higher per capita considering they have 4 times the population. But what it actually is, and again, that's trusting China's numbers.
Which, like I said, it still boggles my mind why it's just assume that China's numbers are correct and we have to give the benefit of the doubt to China when we already know. Allegedly. Remember, allegedly and everything. It's just.
Did you ever beat M. Bison in Street Fighter? I never played Street Fighter.
I did.
I might have played it against a friend, but never single player.
Yeah, I think I played it once or twice in the arcade, but I was always more of the guy that watched people playing fighting games because I didn't really get good at fighting games, so I didn't really care.
Man, I used to play Marvel vs. Capcom 2 at the arcade and Tekken. Fucking shit up.
Did you see the reports of China having, I think, 20 million or so missing from phone contracts, social media, and such? I haven't, but
I did see that. I saw something. I can't remember what the phone company was called, but they said they had reported that a very substantial number of people literally just stopped using their phones out of nowhere, and they don't know what happened to these people. So I was like, that's concerning.
Well, they probably just got a different carrier.
Yeah, I'm
20
sure
million all at once. Did you see Netflix is working on a live action show based on the old Dragon's Lair video game? Yeah, we talked about that last night, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's after a almost, you can almost consider it a scam Indiegogo campaign that raised like $700,000 to create an animated movie of Dragon's Lair that was started in 2016 and has never actually happened.
Well, that whole concept is ridiculous because the game is already animated by one of the best animators there is. So why would you want some knockoff animated version?
Well, no, it wouldn't be a knockoff. Don Bluth was going to make it with the same animation.
Oh, did he make the fucking?
Yeah, no. Don Bluth is the guy who animated the video game. He's the guy who would be animating the purported animated movie that they were planning on making. So, but like I say, that entire thing apparently just went up in smoke, and it just sat there until now. They're going to do a live action thing. So I'm wondering if everybody who paid money for this animated movie back in 2016 is going to be funded, because Netflix is going to be footing the bill on this thing. It's not going to be some kind of independently financed deal.
James Wood just aged the look of AOC's video and literally put Hitler speaking over the footage. Guess on how long till he gets banned again. I saw. Did you guys see Rudy Giuliani got banned? He got a temporary suspension for violating Twitter's rules on coronavirus disinformation.
Okay. Somebody
else did too. I forget who it was. Somebody else in the administration. But yeah, what'd he say? Have you seen Weibo's drawn avatar from far? I have not. I haven't actually seen Weibo in a couple of days.
I don't know. I know she's on lockdown, so
yeah. Sassy, is the baby crawling?
Oh, is she crawling? Jesus fuck. She is crawling, climbing. Like I'm telling you, it ain't no stopping her now. My Squishy called herself building like a little pillow fort around her. She put like a blanket down and just put a whole bunch of pillows kind of in a circle around her to keep her. And like she was literally scaling.
Yep.
Yeah, she like, hey, this shit is nothing to me. So she moving. She ain't just crawling. She is climbing and doing the whole nine. She's actually sitting up on her own too. She just did that out of nowhere. She just popped up. I was getting ready to change her diaper or whatever, and I turned around for a second to grab the diapers off the dresser, and I turned around. She was sitting straight up and looking me right in the face. I'm like, what the hell? You're like, hello.
Yeah, it's time for a playpen, my friend.
Oh yeah, well we got one on the way.
Danger says, do you think Trump's approval rating is going up and media going down because people have now have time to verify their bullshit narrative?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's not a bad theory. Yeah.
I probably, I mean, that could be part of it. I think the biggest part of it, though, is what we've talked about, is that they've lied about this man so much without reason to.
Mm-hmm.
Just be fucking honest, and you don't have a problem.
Yeah. I never understand. It's like the small amount of work you would actually have to do if you wanted to legitimately criticize Trump is just read what he says and fact check him. You could just do that and nothing else. And 9 times out of 10, you would have a story. It might not be a very meaningful story if you're going to go off of like petty shit, but just look at what is actually happening and stop misquoting him, taking him out of context, making up stuff he never did or said, and da-da-da-da-da. Because you're just, I mean, it's the boy who cried wolf, because the stories that actually lie about him at this point probably outnumber the legitimate stories you could say about him. And at a certain point, people are going to get, and they already probably have, fatigue about Trump is terrible. Okay, whatever. And they just tune it out. It doesn't do anything. And so at some point, you're going to have to either come up with a different game plan or just report the truth that can't be avoided and can't be immediately discounted with a Google search.
Well, and I think this is part of what helped him in 2016. They've made him an underdog of sorts, which is mentioned in that article, but they really have. You're bullying Trump, basically.
Right.
And you got people going, why are they so mean to him? That's not a good way to have the guy that you want to lose to be seen. Did you see Hillary Clinton's pizza donation? Hillary said was to distract conspiracy theorists. I did. The Clintons are donating during this time, and good for them. One of the things they're doing is like donating pizzas and stuff to hospitals and frontline workers, that kind of shit. And pizzas, yeah. She made a Pizzagate joke.
Oh Lord, yeah,
about it. Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah. Well, where are we? Sorry, it just jumped on me. Are the COVID tests supposed to be free? I keep hearing different things regarding cost. Excuse me. Well, yes. Excuse me. The tests themselves are supposed to be free. And if I remember correctly, because we've had this bill we just had is actually the third phase of coronavirus fighting bills. And if I remember correctly, the second one was supposed to take care of any costs related to it. But here's the thing. The tests themselves, they're free. Going to the doctor to get the test, that costs money.
And the testing itself, because they send the sample back someplace. This is the other thing, too, and this happened to somebody. The doctor they went to was in their network, but the place that actually ran the test on the sample was not in their network. But they didn't know that when they went to the doctor, and so they got some freaking crazy thousands of dollars charge because the testing facility was out of network. So just ask lots of questions is the only thing that I did, because who knows, state to state and company to company and hospital to hospital. Ask lots of questions like, well, how is this covered by insurance? Is everything in network? Just to make sure. I mean, if they think you're paranoid or something, don't don't regret not asking some questions before you get this stuff done, because right now I don't think anything's assured.
Yeah, there was something in round 2 of the Corona stuff that was supposed to take care of all of that. The test and the lab part of it, that was all supposed to be included in free as part of the CDC requirements.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Scribe said, check. Over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Shiogarath, who says something horribly racist, sexist, and phobic that Boulder Boy wouldn't approve of.
Oh,
thank you, sir. And
did you ever get any kind of clarity on what racist examples were being cited?
There were none, and I didn't ask. No, I kept us on track because that's what I do in an argument. Yeah. Paige, thank you. Real quick before I go, there's a tornado outbreak happening as we speak. Please stay safe, y'all. Yeah.
Arkansas.
Yeah, that time of year, man. Paige, to you as well. Please stay safe out there, guys. For argument's sake, the fish tank couple took the actual medication. They took a spoonful. Drug is max 300 milligrams. A teaspoon is about 5 grams. Overdose, still not Trump's fault.
They didn't, though. Did they take the actual medication after they took the fish stuff? Okay.
No, they took the fish tank cleaner stuff. It is made to kill parasites on the fish, or I don't know if it's parasites or disease on the fish. Ick is one of the diseases it clears up. And it also works as an algaecide in fish tanks. That is the active ingredient in that fish tank cleaner. What else is in there? I don't know, but I'm fairly certain it's different than what you get in pill form from your doctor that doesn't come in little meth-looking chunks.
Yeah, those are two completely different things. Fundamentally, they are completely different. They aren't the same, because a lot of people say, "Oh, they're the same." No, they have similar names. They're not the same thing.
Oh, Lord, did you see Matt Jarbo's follow-up video to his Trump body count video? No, maybe that's what we'll watch tonight on Monkey in the Morning. I haven't seen it. Did you guys watch?
No, I don't. I can't tolerate his voice anymore, so.
Sends bats to Ranting Monkey. Why? Look, I don't mind bats if they stay the fuck out of my house. Just stay out of my house, you flying rats. Oh, Lords, what are your thoughts on the study of effects of cheese on dogs? Do you work for a school?
Oh, do you mean like putting a piece of cheese on a dog's head?
So I feel like you're trying to get some grants here. I'm going to study the effects of, what was it yesterday? Magnets on rodents? On squirrels.
Yeah.
Magnets on squirrels. So I was right, rodents. No one nowhere says who, what, when, where, why, and how. That's all that's needed. Look, I understand dressing it up with a little bit flashier language. If all you want is who, what, when, where, why, and how, that's what you go to your local small-time newspaper for. We have a newspaper here that's literally all you get. Especially like in the sports section. The next town over came and played football against our team. The score was this. It started at this time. It was this degrees outside, and this is who won. The end. And it's very dry, very boring stuff. I don't mind them dressing it up a little bit, telling the story, but it needs to have the actual who, what, when, where, why, and not some bullshit that they've made up to try to sell nonsense.
Yes, and putting up a headline that literally says something completely different, and then putting what actually happened in the bottom of your story does not count. Fuck you.
Yeah, in that argument I got into with the guy about what Trump said in regards to the ventilators and stuff. He links this. He also linked an article, and in the article paints it exactly how this guy said it. This that I'm arguing with, but there's a video in there, and if you watch the video, entirely out of context. They actually take what Trump said and break it up into many little pieces and switch around the order in which it was said. I'm like, you dirty fucks. I'm like, you didn't watch this video, did you? You just took what the writer said, proving my fucking point. Dangerous Spaces, thank you. My point was they would have OD'd on actual meds. Well, if they took them in the same amounts, yeah.
Right.
If you look up how you take that medicine, when you first get it, they give you a shock of like 800 milligrams. And then after that, it's like 300 to 500 milligrams every time you take it.
Mm-hmm.
But you never go over that 8. You can go up to 1 in some very rare cases.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, yeah, you don't. 5 fucking grams?
Yeah, no shit. Did you know that the drug that Trump recommended can kill you with just 2 grams?
Like, with just 2 grams.
With just 2 grams. Yeah, okay. That that was probably one of the most irresponsible headline stories of the situation so far, I think. Just how outlandish and inflammatory and fear-mongering and just ridiculous.
Well, I watched Jeff Holliday's video on it because people had talked about it during that time. So I did go and watch it, and he was the same way. This drug can blind you. Like, this drug is taken by tons of people.
Yeah.
It needs to be taken properly. Anyway, it's the top of the hour, and it's time for us to go. Don't worry, we'll be back on Monday over on Satsu 2 Senses channel for more Lords of the Night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow, you can find Scribbles where?
On Tailed Features channel at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Watch Twitter for the link and the notice because, as we know, YouTube is not helping out with that.
They're mad at me in chat for calling squirrels rodents. They're still little rats. I don't care what you say. Me and Satsu are going to be over on 2 Cents Plus right after this. You can come tell me how much I'm wrong about squirrels if you'd like to. But come watch. We're going to be playing some 7 Days to Die. Should be a lot of fun having a horde night tonight. Satsu, Scribbles, thank you for joining me as always. Audience, thank you for coming. Thank you so much for your donations. You guys are amazing and I love you, but your lives make us sad, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Come watch us die in